All right, welcome in, race fans. Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. Live tonight from the Williams Grove Speedway. These gentlemen in here racing for a $100 to win prize tonight. Got about 52 410 wing sprint cars signed up for this one. They're about 15 seconds away from going to qualifying. Guys, don't forget, likes, shares, and follows. If you're anywhere but one of the Facebook pages, say hi in the chat. I can see you in the multi-chat. Always enjoy having our YouTube and Twitch viewers along. The driver's about to clear the track, and it'll be time for our national anthem. And then 6 heat races with the top 2 from each heat race transferring directly to the feature. 4 consolations. We'll get 2 more out of each of those. 20 cars for 25 laps tonight.
For our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, all the formalities over. It is race time, folks. Alex Bergeron, Logan Rumsey, Joel Berkeley, James Edens, Craig Dunn, and Mason Hannigan going to be your pole starters tonight for the 6 heat races. Driver's going to get lined out here on our front stretch. We'll get ready to roll through our starting lineup. On the pole, the Maple Leaf Kid, Alex Bergeron, quick time for the evening. And to his outside from Pittsboro, Indiana, the Team Seti Sim Styles Dirt Armada. It's the number 1, the Little Hurricane, Mason Hannigan. A row 2 on the inside. The 110 machine, he is the Cadillac man. He's from Albany, New York. It's Kevin Henley. And to his outside, the DRC chassis profile by Sanford Kinzer Sim Racing Team. Number 211 of Alex Smolders out of Merlin, Ontario, Canada. Keith Jackson is going to start inside of row number 3. 13 car, and on his outside from Manford, California, in the elbows up Sim Sport. Over the wall photography, number 21, it's Shea Apollo. In the 4th row on the inside, 32 machine of Bryce Lucius. And on his outside, the 91, Black Diamond Motorsports driver, Ernie Williams, Lima, Ohio. Row 5 on the inside, Ethan Bastian. He drives the 43 machine, and to his outside, in the Supermoon, number 80, it's Vinny Sansone. And on the back row, all by himself, from Milford, Ohio's Jeffrey Stewart in the number 72 over-the-wall photography machine. That will give us 11 cars, 8 laps, no cautions. Top 2 to the feature, and everybody else to a consolation race. Good to see everybody in the chat. Guys, say hi, especially if you're over on Twitch, YouTube. If you're on any of the other Facebook channels other than the Dirt Racing Network, please drop by, give us a like, a share, a follow. Sit back and enjoy the show. Looks a little overcast out here this evening. Things about to get busy here. These guys going to go green out of turn 4 this time. Pace truck will drop off in turn number 3. 8 laps. Good field of cars. Scheduled for 5 heat races with the expansion to 11 cars per heat. So 5 heat races. We'll have 10. We will find 18 drivers in our feature tonight. All racing for a $100 payday in the big check. All right, Bergeron's on the throttle. The green flag is in the air, and we are racing. Big jump for Bergeron down through turns 1 and 2. Watch these guys start to get stretched out, and there was a big crash right down the middle of the backstretch. Somebody into the outside wall. I'm going to say that was the 21 machine, Shea Paulo. He'll get that thing out of the way for these guys and let them continue racing. You saw Kevin Hanley clip the inside wall on the entry into turn 1 there. That relinquishes the spot to the 211 of Mr. Alex Smulders. And he is going to put the pressure on Mason Hannigan right here, trying to get that direct transfer spot away. Meanwhile, 3/4 of a second out in front of these guys, Bergeron having his way with the field. Hannigan, then Smulders. Hanley regrouped and held on to 4th, but he's getting chased down. Vinny Sansone in 5th right there. Stuart Jackson, Bastian Lucius, Paulo, and Williams. Williams took his car off the track very quickly. Must have got caught up in that deal with Paulo. These guys halfway, 4 to go this time. Still Bergeron way out in front. Battle really is for the final transfer spot right here. Smulders has got a shot at it. If he can get just about 2 car lengths closer, I think we're going to see a slide job here, maybe down in turns 1 and 2. Didn't do it that time. Still got just a couple more laps. A little bit of opportunity, maybe trying to set it up, figure out where the weak spot is. 2 to go this time. Hannigan still in front of Smulders. That's for your final transfer spot. These guys hanging on. Cut a little bit of time back out. Took about 1/10 of a second off. Here comes the move from Smulders down to the inside. Couldn't find the grip on the exit. Hannigan able to hang on. White flag is in the air. Bergeron still 3/4 of a second. The battle right here. Last set of corners. Is Smulders going to get it done? Doesn't look like it. Bergeron to the feature, winning heat race 1. Mason Hannigan going with him. He finishes 2nd. Then Smulders, Hanley, Sansone, Stewart, Jackson, Bastian Lucis, Paulo, and Williams. One in the books, 4 more to go. We'll get ready to look through the field here at heat race number 2. On the pole, the 41 machine. You're in good hands, Logan Rumsey. And on the outside of him, the Slick Sim Sports, number 3 of the Australian Assassin, Lewis Hewitt. Row 2 on the inside from Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Car Crafters, Topper Town, number 38. That's going to be Travis Oldfield. And on his outside, in the 0 car, is going to be Rylan Gray. Row 3 on the inside, a 5 machine, Chris Fisher. To his outside, it's going to be Donovan Ross in the other 5 machine. So we'll call that the 5R. Oops, oh, I did that wrong. Ha. In row 4 on the inside, from York, Pennsylvania, the Dave Blaney Sim Racing Team, Mohawk, Northeast J&B Medical Supply, son number 19 of Jeremy Zarfos. And on his inside, the UDSR Ray, Highside Racewear, It's the number 56 of David Flick out of Livingston, Montana. In the fifth row, on the inside from Duluth, Minnesota, the Slide Job Motorsports. It's the number 29 of Miles Jensen. And 2 is outside from Greensburg, Indiana, and the Kinzer Sim Racing Team. It's the number 10 of Skylar Brown. Don't know what Skylar's doing way in the back like that, but expect him to have a good run. And on the back, all by himself, in the 5S, it's going to be Brandon Steele, SteelCycles.com machine. So once again, 11 cars, 8 more laps. Rumsey and Hewitt on the front row. Rumsey's on the gas. Hewitt got a good jump with him. Good timing there. Close battle down to 1 and 2 for the top spot. Hewitt had a good drive through the center. Eases up half a car now. Battle is for the lead. Top 2, Oldfield in third. Gray and Fisher. Right behind that, Donovan Ross now slips around into the 5th spot. But Hewitt slide job. 1 and 2. Not sure it's going to hang. He's still got the outside, but Rumsey slides by on the inside into turns 3 and 4, and he's going to have the lead for lap number 2. Good battle at the front right now. Hewitt giving him every bit of what he can handle. But Rumsey able to fend it off. Now gets about 3 car lengths of relief. Hewitt's car blinked right there going into 3. 5 to go. Oldfield and Gray closing in, and Gray slid Oldfield. Oldfield cut right underneath him. That's for 3rd and 4th right there. Good battles in the top 4 positions right here. Chris Fisher in 5th, Donovan Ross, Skylar Brown, David Flick. As we go back through the field, and now Skylar Brown working on David Flick, and he gets around both Flick and Ross, put him up to 6th. Time running out in the heat race, but a big slide job. Contact in 1 and 2. Over goes Rumsey. Into the inside wall goes Hewitt. That's going to relinquish it to Rylan Grant. Here comes Oldfield. Pounces right away, and he's got the lead down the backstretch. So Oldfield, Gray, Fisher, and Brown now your top 4 on the screen right there. Only 2 transferring directly to your feature. Big slide job coming through 1 and 2. Couldn't get it there. He's got to back it down a little and give the spot back. That puts pressure from behind. Now Chris Fisher on the high side. This time Gray really went down in there. I think he had it if he'd have slid it up, but Oldfield powers back and takes the white flag first. Now covering the inside in 1 and 2. Travis Oldfield, then Rylan Gray. Fisher cuts under. Now he's got the 2nd spot away. Top 4 under a blanket coming off turn 4 to the checkered flag. Oldfield's going to win it. Gray around the outside hangs on, and he's going to transfer to the feature. Everybody else looking for redemption in consolation races. Great race right there in heat number 2. Two down, 3 to go, and if they get any more exciting than that, I'm liable to pass out. All right. On the pole for heat race number 3, another slick Sim Sports driver. He drives the 9 machine. It's Joel Berkeley, and 2 is outside. That is going to be Trey Schmidt in that 22 car. Row 2 on the inside. From Fremont, Ohio, in the Twisted Motorsports number 54, Alex Stoutinger, and 2 is outside. Waverly, Nebraska, the Kinzer Sim Racing Team. Mesilla Valley Transport, Wicked Cushion, number 11, Cole Newhofen. Row 3 on the inside, Team UDSRA driver, the 95. It's Dakota Kuhn, and on his outside from Brownsville, Indiana, in the Elbows Up Sim Sport Dude Products, number 91. It's Anthony Job. Row 4 on the inside, the 15 machine, Zach Novak. And 2 is outside, and the 31 is going to be Kyle Moonen. On the 4th row on the inside from Blanchard, Oklahoma, the Lloyd Racing Outlaw Racing Wings, number 28 of Chris Lloyd. And in the 51 machine, going to be a Glenn Reinhardt. Lots of luck to Glenn there. Good buddy. 10 cars in this one. 8 more laps. All right, Berkeley, Schmidt on the front row. They'll be going green the next time out of turn 4. 2 in the books, and the second one was a great one. Contact at the front, opened the door, and then a great finish. 4 cars, all within a car length of each other. I hope it gets better as the night goes on. Mo Berkeley goes way early there. He caught everybody sleeping. Stoudinger was able to recover quickly. He's going to drop into second. All right, now Trey Schmidt absolutely caught with his pants down right there on that start, and he's going to drop all the way to fourth. Berkeley, Stoudinger, Newhoffen, then Schmidt. Now slide job for third around Newhoffen. Newhoffen easily counters that, and he's going to have it back at the line. Crosses back in, and here they go again. Now Job up to the top side. Give Anthony Job a good run off turn 2. He might move Schmidt back to the 5th spot by the time they come off of 4. Move Job into the 4th spot. Still Berkeley out in front. Stoudinger give and chase, and Berkeley slipped a little there in turn 2 coming down the hill. Didn't seem to hurt him a whole lot. Stoudinger, Newhoffen, those 3 running the cushion up in 3 and 4. Schmidt got back around Job. He's got 4th back. Job pushing him down into turns 1 right there. Wasn't able to make anything out of it. It's still Schmidt down the backstretch. That's for 4th and 5th. Berkeley half a second out in front of Stoudinger. Newhoffen now starting to reel in the 54 machine. Halfway that time. 4 down, 4 to go. Still Berkeley, Stoudinger, Newhoffen, Schmidt, and Job, your top 5. Cars starting to look like they're getting a little bit wiggly off of turn 4. A very outside groove right at the exit of 2 and 4. Look like maybe it's getting just a little bit slick. But they're going to have 2 to go now. Stoudinger has started to gap Newhoffen a little, then clips the fence a little down the front stretch and closes that gap right back up. We could see a slide job. Not this time. Newhoffen finds the fence a little on the backstretch. Now heavily into turn 3. He is going to start falling back, but with 1 to go, Joel Berkeley 0.6 of a second in front of Stoudinger. Newhoffen was able to grab the car back up, but he is just in front of Schmidt and Job. That's for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But the 2 at the front transferring straight to our feature. Coming off turn number 4, Joel Berkeley's going to pick up the win in heat race number 3. Alex Stoudinger going to run second. Schmidt, Newhoffen, then Schmidt. Schmidt, then Newhoffen. I keep shifting around on this scoring pile. Schmidt, Newhoffen, Job, Novak, Lloyd, Moonen, Reinhardt, Kuhn. Your finishing order back there. Those guys will be in the consolation race after the next 2 heats. Oh, teammates on the front row of this one. On the pole, I believe it's going to be the 10 machine of James. He might be in the 1 tonight. Sometimes it's the 1, sometimes it's the 10. James Edens will be there. He is a Swindell Speed Labs driver. And on his outside, his teammate from Loomis, California, the Fast 4 Media JST number 5K. That's going to be Rusty Kruger, and Edens is in the 52 machine tonight. Row 2 on the inside, the 42 machine of Emerson Axum. And on his outside, from New Paris, Ohio, the Elbows Up Sim Sport Wicked Energy Gum, number 79 of the Rowdy 1, Billy Rowdy. Row 3 on the inside. From Castillo, Ohio, on the Elbows Up Sim Sport, Herget Real Estate, number 37. That is Zane Scott. And on his outside, the 39 machine is Kyle Atkinson. In the 4th row on the inside, the 911 Michael Heileman. And on his outside in the 71, Garrett Zacharias. In the 5th row on the inside in the 44 machine, Benjamin Newman. And on the outside in the 242, he's from Castonia, North Carolina, it's Jordan Moses. And on the back row in the 77 machine is going to be Dustin Sargent. So once again, 11 cars, 8 more laps. We're going to bring the top 2 straight to our feature, put everybody else into one of the 4 consolation races. And we'll take the top 2 from each of those. We'll have 18 drivers in our 25-lap feature, all racing for the big check and the $100 payout. All right, pace truck heading into the infield. Edens, Kruger up on the front row. Edens with a good start. Kruger going to quickly fall in second. Billy Rowley on the outside of Emerson Axum. Through turns 1 and 2, they come off. Edens, Kruger, Rowley, Axum, Zane Scott into the 5th spot. Right behind him, Kyle Atkinson, excuse me. Now Rowley gives up a few spots right there. He's going to drop all the way back to the 6th position. Now back to 5th as he got around Atkinson on the top. But Kruger and Edens, these two are out in front by about a second now. About 8/10. But Zane Scott has positioned himself up all the way to 3rd. He's got Billy Rowley now around Atkinson and into 4th and giving chase. Going to try to run him down. A 3rd place here could start him on the pole in one of the consolation races, so he really needs to take that spot back if he wants to stay up at the front. If he doesn't make it directly through. So the same with Zane Scott, but James Edens out in front now, 9/10 of a second over Rusty Kruger. There's about another 9/10 of a second back to Zane Scott, Billy Rowley, Kyle Atkinson. In 5th, Benjamin Newman, Jordan Moses, Dustin Sargent, Michael Heileman, and Garrett Zacharias rounding out the field. These guys coming off 4-3 to go this time by. Still Edens out in front of Kruger. Billy Rowley working on Zane Scott, and Zane Scott finds the outside wall. That is going to knock him way to the back, and he's going to be starting deep in one of the consies. Billy Rowley up to 3rd. Emerson Axon into 4th. James Eden is going to come off of turn number 4. See the white flag in heat race number 4. His teammate Rusty Kruger about 1.6 seconds behind. Still running in 2nd. Both of these guys going to be able to transfer through to the feature directly from the heat race. Easy walk through for James Edens. He picks up the win. Rusty Kruger in 2nd. Billy Rowley going to come in 3rd. Emerson Axum, Kyle Atkinson, Benjamin Newman, Zane Scott, Jordan Moses, Dustin Sargent, Michael Heileman, and then Garrett Zacharias. So 4 down, 1 to go. All right, on the pole for heat race number 5, Maryborough, Queensland, Australia's Team SETI Wicked Cushion 19 Designs, number 57 machine of Craig Dunn. And on his outside, in the BS Air, number 25, going to be Richie Preston. Row 2, inside, Farmington, Minnesota. The DB Sim Racing Team, J&B Medical Wicked Energy, number 15 of Michael Sheridan. And on his outside, from Hanover, Pennsylvania, the UDSRA Highside Racewear TH Designs, number 19 of Troy Wagaman Jr. In row 3, on the inside, the Mobile 1, number 78 machine of Brian Cross, and on his outside is going to be Colton Davis in the 27 car. Row 3, on the on the inside, Brisbane Queensland's Australia's Brady Baldwin in the SRT MG Contracting Brighton Volkswagen, number 7 machine, and on his outside, Randy Shreves, the 56 car. Slick Sim Sports driver in the number 2, Dylan Hauser, inside of row number 5, and on his outside, Dustin Shreves. He drives the 46. And that will be your 10-car field for heat race number 5. Always got to laugh when I see that picture of Brady Baldwin. All right, final heat race. We'll have 10 guys locked in to tonight's feature race when this one is over. The Flying Aussie Craig Dunn on the pole. Richie Preston right on his outside. Thanks for tuning in, Chris. Guys, if you're over watching on Twitch or you're watching... I just saw that Calivoda. That is, wow. If you're watching anywhere but the Facebook groups, guys, Twitch, YouTube, please say hi in the chat. I can't see that, but the green flag is in the air. Heat race number 5 underway. Done. Out to a quick lead. Richie Preston going to fall into second. Michael Sheridan. And then a gaggle of cars behind that. Here comes Colton Davis. The black car on the outside, the 27 machine, slicing and dicing, but he wasn't able to hold the spots as Wagaman goes right back by for 4th. Craig Dunn comfortably out in front. Oh, slipped off too as soon as I said that. Now it's a 3-way battle. Down into turns 3 and 4. Dunn still holding on to the lead. Sheridan on the inside had second for a moment, but Richie Preston with an amazing drive off the top side had the lead almost at the line. Less than half a car, and he may have it when they come off turn 2 this time. 3 wide down the backstretch at Williams Grove. Something's got to give. And Richie Preston was the one that paid the price. Michael Sheridan and Craig Dunn making contact, and that pushed everybody out now. Sheridan's got the lead, but he was slowed quite a bit. Colton Davis able to get closer. That's first and second. Brian Cross into third. Troy Wagaman, then Dylan Hauser. Preston recovers to 6th. Shreves, Dunn, Baldwin, and Dustin Shreves rounding out the field. We're going back to the front at the halfway point. 4 down, 4 to go. Sheridan and Davis, 1, 2. Sheridan with a little bit of breathing room. About a half a second. Car really slowed through the center of 3 and 4. Down to 3/10 that time by. Now down to a quarter, now down to a car, now down to half a car. Good drive off the top for Davis. Colton Davis around the outside. Can he pick up the lead off turns 3 and 4? Give it to Davis at the stripe. 2 to go. Fantastic battle here for first and second. Both cars can transfer, but a racer don't go to the track to run second. He goes to win. So these guys going to battle until the bitter end right here. White flag in the air. Looks like it might be settled now. Davis starting to get away. A good second and a half back from Sheridan to Wagaman. So a big mistake is going to have to take place for these top 2 to be unseated. Final time through 3 and 4. Colton Davis is going to win heat race 5, and he's going to bring Michael Sheridan with him. Everybody else, we'll see you in the consies. So, heat race is over, the first of 4 consolation races. Top 2 from each one of these will be transferring into the feature race. Down a quick look at the 56 car, that G-Force Machines, and my good buddy, the Flying Fossil, David Flick. Starting on the pole is going to be Alex Molders to his outside. Going to be Troy Wagaman Jr. You just saw him in the last heat race. Row 2 will be Emerson Axon and Anthony Job. The Flying Fossil David Flick inside row 3 with Keith Jackson on his outside. Row 4 will be Richie Preston and Jordan Moses. Row 5, Dakota Kuhn and Logan Rumsey. And I don't believe we're going to have a row 6. Ernie Williams not making the call. Neither is Wagaman or Axum, so we are suddenly from 11 to 8. 8 cars looking for 2 spots. So that is going to leave Smolders on the front row, and it's going to put Anthony Job up to his outside. Mr. Calavoda, that is funny. All right, 12 laps. Only 8 cars, top 2. Moving on, everybody else, pack them up and take them home. Pace truck will dive in turn 3 right here. We'll go green off of turn number 4, Smolders and Job. Going to get us started right about now. B-main number 1. And Alex Smolders wasted no time putting a pretty good gap between himself and Anthony Job. David Flick and Keith Jackson having a pretty good battle over third. They need to settle that so they can focus on the 91 car in front of them, because those two are getting away, Smolders and Job. Big pack behind that. 5, 6 cars right there. It's the front 2 and then everybody else. Contact between Rumsey and Moses. Then Rumsey and Slick, just a slight bit, or David Flick, excuse me, just a slight bit of contact. That's going to put Rumsey into 5th. Flick, Moses, and Kuhn rounding the back of this thing out. Richie Preston there in 4th, right behind Keith Jackson. But Anthony Job has got about 7/10 of a second over Jackson into the 2nd position. And Alex Smolders almost a full second out in front of Job. We'll kind of keep our eye back here on 3rd for a couple of these laps and see if these guys start to make up any distance. Richie Preston moving up another lane above where Jackson's running to see if he can find some momentum. If he can get around that 13 car, maybe he can focus on the 91. He's got about 7 laps to get it done. Tough sledding and tough to pass. Track is right in that condition right there where it's about 1 lane. You can't really do much off the bottom. Ooh, a whole lot of weaving down the back stretch. Preston with the slide job, but I don't think it's going to stick, and it does not down the front stretch. This time Preston tried to turn it down early. He might have a run. He might get a slide job down here in 3 and 4. Keith Jackson was trying to do everything he could to protect the position right there. Now those two making contact. Rumsey's into this. Jackson's going to continue on. Preston. He is not Alex Smolders' car off the track. Anthony Job now your leader. We weren't watching Alex Smolders and something happened to him quickly. So it's Job and Jackson 1-2. About a second and a half between those two. Logan Rumsey back here about another 3/4 to 8/10 of a second. Jordan Moses is in behind that. But Alex Smolders, his not going to end right here in the B main. He was out in front of this one, then suddenly in the infield. And Anthony Job, the beneficiary of that mistake. So he's going to have 2 laps to go when he comes off turn 4, and he's going to start in the 6th row on the inside of tonight's feature. About a lap and a half, still a second and a half from first to second. Jackson back here. running away at the top side, just trying to get through this one. White flag one more time around. B main number 1. And Job's going to come off 4, see the checkered flag. He's going to the A main. Keith Jackson, 13 machine, is going to go with him. Everybody else done for the evening. As we'll get ready to move on to B main number 2. All right, scheduled for 11 more cars in this one. A pile of good names slated to be in this one as well. On the pole, Chris Fisher. To his outside, the Cadillac man, Kevin Hanley. Row 2, the Flying Aussie, Craig Dunn. On his outside, going to be Kyle Atkinson. Zach Novak and Brandon Steele in row number 3. Ethan Sebastian, Brian Cross making up row number 4. Row 5, Dustin Sargent and Glenn Reinhardt. And on the back, the Australian assassin, Lewis Hewitt, the only car I do not see currently on the grid. The 5 car of Chris Fisher, he did not make the call. That's going to move the Flying Aussie up to the pole. Craig Dunn going to start P1 for B-Main number 2. There's one last car for him to have to pass. Sorry, guys. Had to get a little adult beverage in me. You know, I'm trying to keep that coronavirus at bay. Keeping my fluid levels up. All right, one more time around. 10 cars. 12 laps. Only 2 transfer to the feature. Everybody else will be done for the night. Track looked like it's going through that transition phase where it's almost down to one line. By the time we get through these guys will have her opened back up. We'll see 2 lines of racing when we get to our feature. I am quite certain. Well, hello, Jeffrey. I see you peeking in the chat there, buddy. All right, pace truck. Dropping in turn 3. Green out of turn 4. Dunn and Hanley. Getting us going here. Dunn's on the throttle. Green flags in the air. Door left open, and Atkinson's going to take advantage of that. But Hanley powers it off of turn 2 and grabs the spot back. Kevin Hanley, position number 2 into turn 3. 5 cars within arm's reach of each other and big contact down the backstretch. Atkinson, Bastian, Cross, a bunch of them getting into it. That's going to allow Dunn and Hanley get a little bit of breathing room. Zach Novak grabs third after the little bit of melee out of turn 4 last time by. Brian Cross recovered to 4th. Ethan Bastian into 5th. Lewis Hewitt now from 11th up to 6th. He's coming forward in a hurry. Trying to deal with Atkinson right now. Hanley right in the tire tracks of Craig Dunn. That's first and second. Both cars are transferred if they finish the way they are, but we got 10 laps to go. And Zach Novak starting to close the gap. 15 car making tracks. You can physically see the gap close as they come up off the corner. Everybody pushing the marbles further and further up the hill now. Brian Cross, then Ethan Sebastian, Lewis Hewitt 6th. Atkinson's back to 7th. Craig Dunn holding about 0.3 of a second as they're going to reach halfway when they cross the start-finish line this time by. Hanley moved down the lane, made up about a half a car. Zach Novak now, inch by inch, reeling these guys in. If he doesn't run out of laps, he's going to make a challenge. Maybe not only for second, but for the lead before we get to the end of this one. We'll try to stay focused on these 3 cars. Only 2 will remain at the end of this B main. Those 2 going to our feature. Now Hanley once again moves down a little, loses everything he gains in the middle on the exit. Novak's there, and he's up on the back of the car. Still contact down through 1 and 2. Hanley's into the outside wall. Novak sweeps by. Down on the inside, whole lot of contact between those 2 on the front stretch. Hanley made up a bunch of ground. We'll be watching for a slider close to the end of this one. That lets Dunn have about 1.3 seconds of breathing room. He is cruising out in front, going to find himself in the A main tonight. Hanley still using the lower line through the center, makes up ground. Now he's not giving up nearly as much on the exit as he did the time before. We're down to 2 to go. Now Hanley into the outside fence. That might seal the deal. Long as Novak has no mistakes. Dunn still out in front. Final lap, over a second. Novak comfortably. Now Hanley throws it into the fence. What's going to be Craig Dunn, Zach Novak coming out of B main number 2 going into our feature. The Flying Aussie picks up the win. Zach Novak is second. Everybody else finished for the evening. And I am sure there's a couple of guys that are going to have a chat. In the infield after that one. While they're doing that, we'll go watch B main number 3 out here. It's going to be Trey Schmidt, Skylar Brown on row number 1. Vinny Sansone and Randy Shreves in row number 2. Row 3, Benjamin Newman, Chris Lloyd. Row 4 will be Miles Jensen and Bryce Lucius. And row 5 is going to be Brady Baldwin and Michael Heileman. 10 more cars. Make it 9. Benjamin Newman's car not making the call for B main number 3. So 9 cars, 12 laps. Still only the top 2. 14 cars locked in. We're getting 2 out of this B main, 2 out of the final. We'll have 18 for our feature. Several names we're not used to seeing having to work their way in. Trey Schmidt, Vinny Sansone. An elimination race with this many cars and only 2 spots up for grabs. That's why we were seeing the contact we were seeing in the last one. The intensity's getting pretty high. All right, green this time out of turn number 4. Schmidt and Brown off at the front row. Pace truck is in, just waiting on Trey Schmidt to hit the throttle. He does. Green flag is in the air. Vinny Sansone timed that perfectly, and he sneaks right around Skylar Brown right at the exit of turn 4, and he beat him to the line. So it is Schmidt, Sansone, and then Brown. And right now, Sansone's going to slide by on the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Looks like that car working the bottom perfectly. Put the 80 machine out in front. Schmidt drove it deep into 1 and 2. Had to jump on the binders. Lost a bunch of ground on the exit. Right now, Skylar Brown trying to work the top side. He runs in third. Third place, the first car out. So he's got to catch one of the 2 in front of him. Randy Shreves is in fourth. Michael Heileman in the fifth spot. Brady Baldwin, Bryce Lucius, Miles Jansen, Chris Lloyd rounding out the field. Right now, Vinny Sansone 0.6 of a second ahead of Trey Schmidt, sitting in second. Another 0.8 of a second, 0.9 of a second now. Back to Skylar Brown. Brown's car not working very well through the top side on the corners. He is losing ground. Two in front of him have gone to the bottom. Trey Schmidt, 0.8 of a second behind Sansone. 7 laps to go. Sansone's car very smooth. You can hear him on and off the throttle, and he's just sliding right around the bottom, keeping that car right against the inside. You see the difference in the color of the dirt. Plenty of grip right down there on the inside. Where it's dark, there is just grip. Where it is shiny, there is none. 4 to go this time by. .9 seconds over Schmidt, and now Brown has reeled Schmidt in. Got him in his sights. He's got plenty of time. 3 more laps to go. Schmidt still staying on the bottom. And Brown now finding the top side, working just a little bit. He's even. Now has the spot. Put Brown to second around Schmidt. Skylar Brown up to position 2. Trey Schmidt back to third. Michael Heileman is fourth. Randy Shreves. Brady Baldwin 6th. Chris Lloyd is 7th. But Vinny Sansone 1 3/4 seconds ahead. Skylar Brown, he's going to get the 1 to go this time. Brown now has put a pretty good gap, over half a second, on Trey Schmidt. But Sansone with a great jump started inside row number 2, had the lead. Time they came off turn 4 the first lap, he led all 12 laps. He moves on to the A main, and Skylar Brown recovers from a very poor start, ends up second. He is going to be in our feature as well. Everybody else done for the evening. And we have one more B main on tap for you. So whittling it down. 56 cars, and we'll have 18 when we get done here shortly. Final consolation race of the night. Top 2 moving on. Everybody else done, and we'll have our 18-car field set. The routing 1, Billy Rowley on the pole. Cole Newhoffen on his outside. Row 2 inside, Donovan Ross. Jeff Stewart going to be on the outside of that row. Dylan Hauser inside row number 3, and he's got Zane Scott on his outside. Row 4, Kyle Moonen, Jeremy Zarfos. Row 5, Shea Paulo and Dustin Shreves. And it's supposed to be on the back, Garrett Zacharias. So far, Donovan Ross, Dustin Shreves, and Garrett Zacharias not making the call. So we'll go from 11 to 8 for the final B main. Again, 12 laps, and the top 2 move on. Rowley, Newhoffen, Stewart, Hauser, Scott, Zarfos, Paulo. Everybody in here. Not normally in these consolation races, and all of them got a shot to win it. Liable to be a pretty exciting race right here. Hey, Swamp Man, thank you. Was it the in car that you liked? All right, lights off on the pace truck. We're going green out of turn number 4. 12 times around. The rowdy one, Billy Rowdy, about to get us started. Newhofen trying to time it up just a little bit, and Rowley waited. Got him backing it down. Now Rowley's out in front of Newhofen. Hauser jumped to third. He's going top side. Wasn't able to get it done right there, and Newhofen had a pretty good run down the backstretch. Closed the gap pretty good on Rowley, almost 3 wide through turns 3 and 4, and Rowley's going to come out with the lead. Battle shaping up well for second right here. Man, Rowley just not getting away from these guys on straightaways. Gets good run off the top side. Just doesn't drive hard down the straightaways. It doesn't look like that car did not running out very well on him. And Newhofen took it in there. Rowley puts it in the fence in turn 3 and 4. He's going to fall from the lead to third. And Hauser got a great drive down the front stretch, and he slide jobs Newhofen in 1 and 2. Great battle for the lead. Now Rowley starting to fall back a little bit. May have damaged that car a little when he licked the wall the last lap in 3 and 4. Newhofen back to the lead around Hauser. Hauser just getting great drive up off the corners and down the straightaways. But Newhofen's car working the corners very well. This time into 3 and 4. We'll see what Hauser does coming up off the bottom. Newhofen with about 2 car lengths. And he's able to stave him off that time. So it's Newhofen, Hauser, Rowley, Zarfos, Paulo, Stewart. That's 6th place. Moonen is 7th, and Zane Scott off the track. Something must have happened to him. We'll go back. We're going to watch our leaders. Newhofen in front of Hauser. Now Hauser going top shelf one more time. Does he have the drive off the exit? Not quite enough. Slide job down 3 and 4. Newhofen protected the middle, made Hauser stay on the bottom, and it didn't work out for him. Hauser with the lead this time by. Now goes back to the top side. He's liking the top side in 1 and 2. I think he should go back to the bottom in 3 and 4. And he does. It looked like that car is very good down there in 3 and 4. He gaps Newhofen 0.3 of a second just out of turns 3 and 4 that time. Rowley still hanging on to third, but he's got company on the inside. Zarfos, and Zarfos gets around him on the bottom of 1 and 2. Jeremy Zarfos up to the third spot. Newhofen is right in front of these guys. 4 laps to go, enough time to get there. Hauser now starting to stretch away 0.75 of a second. Seeing if the battle's going to shape up for second. Newhofen with a mild slip right there in turn 4. Oh, that time Zarfos clipped the tires going into turns 1 and 2. Rowley way up top and out of shape. So Hauser going to get 2 to go. 0.75 of a second ahead of Cole Newhofen. Newhofen now starting to put a little bit of a gap. He's got 0.75 of a second over Zarfos. Off of turn 4, white flag waving. Dylan Hauser, Cole Newhofen, your 2 cars for transfers. Jeremy Zarfos still trying to get there. Don't think he's got enough time. Hauser through 3 and 4 for the final time. He's going to find himself in the feature race tonight, and Cole Newhofen is going to go with him. So our 18-car field is set. Everybody else, thanks for playing. No parting gift for you. Hope to see you next time. They're going to have about 2 minutes of warm-up, and then they're getting ready for 25 green flag laps in our feature. In the meantime, big thank you to our sponsor, Old Tim Nichols over at Tim Sims. Guys, don't forget to go over and see him this weekend at the Race Cars and Future Stars show. They are going to have a few races going on over there at the Tim's Dirt Track Simulators. Him and Ernie Williams. So drop by and see those guys. Tomorrow night, right here, live on the Dirt Racing Network, Mike Peterson will have the call. Dirt Slingers, Wicked Energy Gum, 410 Outlaw Pro Series. Going to be at Lanier this week. Week 6 of the season. Points battles. Big shakeup last week. Top 3 all within striking distance of each other right at the halfway point. So tune in for all the action there. 9 Eastern. Set yourself a reminder. Look at some of these guys getting around here, cutting some practice laps in, running out of time here, but I want to see what the track is looking like. It's looking like at one end it's going to be in the top, and at the other end probably the bottom. But I think as this feature goes on, you're going to see these guys able to move into both lines, especially in 1 and 2, and maybe make some headway. Yeah, Mike, that is that is a sad deal. The NBA thing is utterly ridiculous in my opinion. I don't really want to make a platform out of this place, but you know, it's really dangerous to people with an underlying medical condition. So just be smart and don't put yourself in those situations if you have one. Otherwise, I think all this is just fear mongering and rhetoric, personally. All right, on the pole, the Maple Leaf Kid, Alex Bergeron, to his outside, Travis Oldfield. Row 2 on the inside is going to be Joel Berkeley, and on his outside will be James Edens. On the inside, row number 3, Colton Davis. And on the outside, going to be the Little Hurricane, Mason Hannigan. Row 4 on the inside, Rylan Gray, and to his outside, Alex Stoudinger. In the 5th row, Rusty Kruger starts inside. On his outside, Michael Sheridan. Anthony Job will start inside row 6 with the flying Aussie Craig Dunn on his outside. Vinny Sansone inside of row number 7 and Dylan Hauser on the outside of that row. And in the 8th and final row will be Keith Jackson inside and Zach Novak. Oh, actually, we got 9 rows. Excuse me. Going to be Skylar Brown and Cole Newhoffen on that row. That 18 cars only had 8 rows in my head for some reason. Don't worry. It's coronavirus math. Looks like Keith Jackson, the 13 car, did not make the call, so we're down to 17 already. The big check and $100 to the winner tonight. We'll try to get the top 3 in for interviews afterwards. But the lights will go off on that pace truck, and they will go green the next time they come out of turn number 4. 25 green flag laps. All right, guys. It is race time, the big show. Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. $100 to the winner. 25 green flag laps. Alex Bergeron, Travis Oldfield going to bring us to the green right here out of turn number 4. We're underway. Green flag. Good move by Bergeron. Great move by Joel Berkeley. Berkeley goes down inside. I don't know who that was that clipped the tires, but they almost caused a giant melee right there. I'm going to say it was Colton Davis at 27 machine. Yes, it was. Clipped the tires. He got Stoudinger. Somebody else out of shape, Oldfield maybe, and those guys grabbed him up. Everybody kind of holding station now. Oldfield held on to 3rd. Hannigan 4th. Stoudinger 5th. Edens, Sheridan 6, 7. Colton Davis 8th. Kruger and Hauser 9 and 10. Right now they are 2 by 2 way deep in this field. That's a big stack up down in turn 3. Somebody was backwards. Craig Dunn's car. Maybe Skylar Brown into this too. Looks like it. Let's drop back a few seconds here. See what happened. They got down into turn 3. Job kind of got into whoever was in front of him there, stacked it up a little bit. I think Craig Dunn backed into him, and he slid up right in front of Skylar Brown. So Mr. Dunn will try to catch the back of the field. I think Mr. Brown's car is already on the hook and in the infield. You see him sitting there in front of his trailer. So it looks like his bid for the $100 will be over. Lap 1, turn number 3. You know, the old adage, you gotta finish if you're gonna win. You gotta finish, and that's not the case tonight. Just kind of unfortunate though. One car checked up into another one, just kind of starts a chain reaction. Eventually, somebody's going to get the dirty end of the stick there. So, Bergeron, Berkeley, Oldfield, Hannigan, Stoudinger, Edens, Davis, Sheridan, Gray, and Hauser are the top 10 right now. Only got 2 laps in. They'll start single file. Looks like the lights are off on the pace truck, so we're going green this time out of turn 4. Long ways to go. A lot of racing left. Alex Bergeron's been on a streak in this series lately. He's back on the throttle. The green flag is back in the air, and he got a great run coming off of turn 4. Put 2 or 3 car lengths on Berkeley right down the front stretch. Now puts 2 or 3 more on him. Joel Berkeley had trouble negotiating the exit at turn 2. Travis Oldfield down to the inside, slides it up in the middle. I think Berkeley got the wall with the left front right there, got the inside fence a little bit. And a pack of hungry hounds behind him. Hannigan all the way to the top side. He made it 3 wide down the backstretch with Edens on the inside, Oldfield in the middle. They sorted out going into 3 and 4. Now Hannigan goes down to the very bottom, man. He was hugging the inside wall like it was his girlfriend. Oh, there goes Oldfield into the inside fence, going down into 1 and 2. Go back, watch the 38 car down in here. He goes down inside. Maybe he's right front clipped the left rear of Hannigan. It kind of knocked him into that inside fence. Looks like the car just spun around. He might be able to continue here. Craig Dunn must have a bunch of damage. He's taking that car to the infield. But Bergeron is still out in front. That was going on back there for about 5th or 6th when all of that broke free, because Hannigan now sits in the 5th spot. Yeah, Bergeron, Berkeley, Edens, Hannigan. Hannigan up to 4th, Oldfield. Then Stoudinger, Sheridan, Davis, Hauser, and Rylan Gray. I think Travis Oldfield's car is going to go to the back here, looks like. Yeah, they've got him back at the back with a very damaged Rylan Gray. Right behind him there. So still 20 laps to go when we get the green. Plenty of racing action. They are going to get this thing restarted here. Lights went off on the pace truck. All right, pace truck headed in, waiting for Mr. Bergeron to find the throttle pedal. He turns the car down to the inside, jumps on the gas.
Green flag, green flag.
Still gets that 3 or 4 car length lead over Berkeley. Berkeley now going top shelf. Around 1 and 2. Bergeron with great drive off the bottom. James Edens trying to find his way around Joel Berkeley. He's got the outside. Put in P2 at the line, but Berkeley fighting back on the inside and had to pinch the car low. Edens staying right through the middle. He takes over second move. Berkeley back to third. Hannigan still fourth. Here comes Dylan Hauser around Alex Stoudinger. Move him to fifth. Stoudinger, Sheridan, Davis, Kruger, and Zach Novak making up that top 10. Top 3 have distanced themselves from each other and the rest of the field. Dylan Hauser in fourth. He leads a single file car line. They're starting to close in on Joel Berkeley's car, and caution once again. I don't know who that was for. Maybe Colton Davis? Davis was down the backstretch. Into 3, right rear into the fence, and up and over he goes. So under caution after 8 of the 25 scheduled laps. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Hope you're enjoying the show. 17 laps left in our feature. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. More 410 sprint car action. Good evening, Mr. Sedlick. Still 15 of the 18 cars on the track. Make it 14. Ryland Gray, the last of those. Colton Davis, Craig Dunn, Skylar Brown, Keith Jackson. All no longer on track with us. Ryland Gray, 14th. Travis Oldfield, 13th. Cole Newhoffen in 12th. Vinny Sansone, 11th. Anthony Job in 10th. Zach Novak. That's out of order just a little bit. Zach Novak was 9th. Kruger, 8th. Sheridan, 7th. Stoudinger, Hauser, Hannigan, 4th. Joel Berkeley, James Edens is 2nd, and Alex Bergeron, your leader. Getting ready to restart here with 17 to go. Bergeron on the throttle, the green flag. Back in the air, racing resumes. Edens went to the middle once again. He's kept that car there pretty much every time we've gone green. Bergeron has been going to the low side right away. Went to the top side that time. Now goes back to the bottom in 3 and 4. Edens through the middle. Berkeley on the bottom. Hauser through the middle. So 1 and 3 running the same line. 2 and 4 the same line. Behind that, Stoudinger running the middle, but he's got company. High side, Hannigan didn't have the drive off. Sheridan was down on the inside. He had less drive. He fell all the way back into the 7th spot. Now a good battle starting to shape up back here for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Job, Anthony Job in 9th back there. Hannigan in front of that. Sheridan. Kruger has moved up 2 spots since the restart. The 5K car now into 6th. He's focused on the 54 car in front of him. Like to break into that top 5. Zach Novak, Vinny Sansone, Cole Newhoffen. There's Joel Berkeley's car in turn number 2. He was getting moved on the outside by Hauser. Went down on the inside. Went in there a little light. Put the left front into the fence. Nothing Job could do. That car was sideways in front of him. So right before the halfway point, under caution again. Well, thanks for tuning in, Timothy. Indiana, Florida. Glad everybody's tuning in from all over the place. Hope you're enjoying the show. All right, let's get the top 10 again here. Bergeron, Edens, Berkeley, Hauser, Stoudinger, Kruger, Sheridan, Hannigan, Job, and Novak are our top 10. When they take the green, we'll be right about the halfway point. Another retired car. Alex Stoudinger. Enough damage from the last incident, he has taken his car to the infield. So 12 cars remain in the race. Ryland Gray still at the back of that line. So after Newhoffen in our top 10, Travis Oldfield and Ryland Gray, everybody else is pretty much out of this at this point. Lights off on the pace truck once again. We going green out of turn 4. 12 down, 13 to go. So Maple Leaf Kid looking for the hammer. He's dropped it. We're green one more time. James Edens giving chase. Top shelf for Bergeron. Middle for Edens. Hauser in third now. Went to the top side. Now goes through the middle. Kruger right behind him in the middle. Sheridan through the middle. That's your top 5. Battle for 6th on back. Mason Hannigan in 6th. Anthony Job, Sans front wing. And what looks like the nose piece on that car. He is running in 7th, but here comes Zach Novak down the inside. Novak with a big wiggle. Had to get the car back underneath him. Couldn't make the move. Sansone right hot on his heels. Sansone 9th. Cole Newhoffen is 10th. Bergeron now about 7-8 car lengths out in front of Edens. Edens changing line. Goes through the middle. Slides off on the top. Trying to find momentum. They've distanced themselves from Hauser. Hauser going back to the bottom in front of Kruger and Sheridan. Still half a second. Once again, Edens through the middle, slides out to the top side. Got grip that time, closed the gap. Goes to the bottom in 1 and 2. Bergeron stays on the top side. He's got big drive off the corner. Gets back 1 or 2 of those car lengths. Now he goes to the bottom. Alex Bergeron trying to keep that left front tire up against the inside wall. He's going to maintain the lead. 17 down, 8 to go. Still Hauser in third. Right in front of Kruger, Sheridan. Novak. Now that battle's starting to heat up. 5th and 6th. Novak goes around Sheridan. Mason Hannigan now trying to work the inside of the 15 machine. But the one car going to stay in line and still run 7th. Bergeron now starting to get away a little bit. Out to 0.8 of a second over Edens. Edens still running the slider line through 3 and 4. 6 laps to go. Hauser now is going top shelf in turns 1 and 2. Goes back to the bottom in 3 and 4. Edens now has moved back to the bottom. He's no longer running the slider line in 3 and 4, but he's not making up any time. Lost 0.3 last lap, 5 to go. Bergeron was around the top side in 1 and 2, goes back to the inside in 3 and 4. Good run for him. James Edens went back to the top shelf. He is doing anything, searching everywhere. Just not finding it, losing about 0.2 a lap. Hauser still in front of Kruger. Novak right behind Kruger. That's fifth. 3 to go. 1.2 seconds. Bergeron still in front of Edens. Now Edens changes his line in 1 and 2. Alex Bergeron staying on the bottom. 2 to go. Goes back to the top in 1 and 2. Found something in running the outside in 1 and 2 on the bottom in 3 and 4. 1 second. Lost 0.2 the last lap. White flag, this time out of turn 4. Alex Bergeron still on a hot streak at the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. They were asking during the week, is anybody going to be able to break the streak? And it doesn't look like the answer is yes to that question at all. He's coming out of turn 4. He's got the checkered flag in front of him. The Maple Leaf Kid picks up another win at the Dirt Sprint Car Championship Series. The big check and $100. He puts another one in the bank. James Edens, Dylan Hauser, Zach Novak, and Rusty Kruger are going to round out the top 5. We'll see if we can get Bergeron, Edens, and Hauser into the booth. I ask the top 3 to park on the front stretch for me, please. Alex Bergeron going to give us the photo op on the front stretch here. James Edens, Dylan Hauser. Thank you, gentlemen. Always appreciated. Wait for these guys to come in. We'll talk to the top 3 here. Gonna have to ask Alex how many in a row that is. I'm not even sure now. Might be 3 or 4. But he is definitely on a streak. All right, now let's grab him and get him in here. 3rd place, Dylan Hauser, you got a copy.
Yep, what's happening?
Well, man, you made some great headway there. Looks like I kind of just ran out of grip and ran out of laps there. Talk to us about this feature race, buddy.
Yeah, we weren't really that good in the feature. We were just better than the rest of the field beside Alex and James. But early in the race, I was pretty good. But once it slicked up and the grip went away, I kind of slowed down a little bit. So got to get something better for here at Williams Grove. It sucks we got wrecked in the heat race by Brian Cross. I don't know what their deal is, but seems like him and Trey always find their way into some type of trouble, and it's really unfortunate. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Coming from the back up to 3rd is always a good run against this field. A little disappointed. I don't like being 3/10 off the leaders at the end of a race, so we're gonna go back, get to work, figure this shit out, because it's not fun being 3/10 off.
Yeah, it looked like the track went away pretty quickly because even in that last feature consolation race, it looked like a couple of lines were viable, and then I don't know, within the first 10 laps of this feature, it just looked like everything was gone. You either had to run high in 1 and 2 and low in 3 and 4, or right through the middle at both ends, and there was nothing anywhere else.
Yeah, it's kind of how it was. I just once the top went away in 1 where it was tacky and then it got slick, I just fell off hard. So I don't know what we got to do to get the set better, but we'll figure it out eventually. Just got to keep working.
All right, man. Well, still a podium finish. I'm sure you got a list of sponsors you'd like to thank before we let you get out of here.
Yeah, everybody at Slick Sim Sport and all of our sponsors, I appreciate it. And you guys for broadcasting and Brody for putting the league on. All
right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. We look forward to seeing you each and every night, buddy. Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
Your 3rd place finisher, Dylan Hauser. I do not see Mr. Edens anywhere, so we may have to just kind of quick photo op there. There's his car. He finished 2nd. He's not here to talk to us. Always fun to talk to James. But we'll move on. We'll get the man that's on fire right now. We'll find out what his streak currently sets at here. I don't even know. I know I saw something on a couple of the Facebook posts about it. But Alex Bergeron, you got a copy?
Yes, Roger.
What is the streak at right now? Is it 3 or 4?
think it's 4.
I think it is too. I think that's what I was seeing, 3 in a row. And can anybody break the streak? Well, the answer to that question tonight was a resounding no. Man, talk to us about the feature and each and every start and restart. You just drove away from these guys.
Yeah, it was tough at the beginning of each starts, but once I was a bit ahead of Berkeley and Edens there, it was easy. I was just taking it easy on the top and on the bottom, tried some couple lines and see what was working better, and I think we figured it out.
Yeah, it looked like you were searching a little bit early, but then you kind of settled on going high in 1 and 2, low in 3 and 4. Is it just about the only places you could find any grip there?
1 and 2 is hard to beat. It was way quicker. Not too much, but it was still a bit quicker than the bottom in 1 and 2. I was just more stable down the bottom, and I didn't want to risk up top. But once I saw the bottom was so much lower. Edens was caught me there. So I just had to do something and try to top it, and it worked fine. So I'm pretty happy with the result, and the streak we're having right now.
Yeah, putting them big checks in the bank's got to be a whole lot of fun, man. A fantastic win tonight. You covered the field. You going for 5 in a row next week?
Well, I'll try. I think we have 5 overall wins at the SCCS, so we're getting up in the list. We'll try to top that one of wins. But other than that, we'll try our best every weekend and every week, I'd say, and do our best, and that's all we can do.
Going to go for that all-time winner and all-time money winner in the series, huh?
We'll try to. That's it.
Well, that's where it's at, man. You got to put them dollars in the bank, buddy. I'm sure you've got a laundry list of people that you'd like to thank, and then we're going to let you celebrate a hard-earned victory tonight.
Well, as always, Team ABR, the whole crew, Jason Nygaard, my teammate, Rebecca, my girlfriend, team managers for Team ABR, my dad for watching as always, cheering on for us, all our partners, Team ABR, CSI Shocks, Logic app, BK Designs for all the racing paints, Martin Firm Equipments, all your partners as well. You guys for broadcasting, Roger, doing an excellent job every week, and Brody for putting DSCCS on. It's a pleasure to be here every week and to compete against the best.
All right, man. Well, we've been missing you on Thursday nights, buddy. Hope to see you back over there sometime soon. But congratulations on the win tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week. See if you can keep the streak alive.
Thank you.
Your winner tonight, Alex Bergeron. Let's grab James Edens. We happen to find him wandering around over by a porta potty somewhere in the infield, I guess. James, you there?
Yeah. Had to drain it a little bit.
Got it. Well, we had to chase you all the way across the infield to get to you. But, man, you come home second. You were giving good chase there for a little bit to Alex. Then he just started to stretch away. Talk to us about where was the line tonight in this feature and how you end up coming home second.
Yeah, the line actually changed a lot, and towards the end of the race, it seemed like, he was running a different line than I was, and we were pretty even. So, the track was actually, pretty good. Both lines, it was probably just wherever you were set up for, wherever you were most comfortable running, was probably going to be the best place for you. But yeah, we tried to hang with him there on the restart. I think that's the best I've hung with him around here. He's the best around here Normally he beats us by 3 or 4 seconds, so to hold within a second the whole time is pretty good.
Yeah, it looked like when the feature started, it was pretty good. There was able to be a couple of distinct lines at both ends, but as it got later in that feature, almost everything kind of went away. Just kind of a product of the sunny day and the 410 cars just kind of burning the moisture out of the track, or was it just, that's just kind of the way this thing's going to work?
Just a little bit of both. You got, high horsepower cars, and the sun definitely isn't nice to the moisture. It burns off pretty quickly. So, those last 5 laps was just about keeping, minimizing the tire spin and keeping the car under you as best you could and just not make any mistakes.
It'd be nice to be able to get out there and hit that thing with a sheep's foot right before the feature, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. They do it before the B mains. I thought they were going to, give us a little bit before the feature, but they decided not to, so.
All right, man. Well, a great run tonight. I'm sure you got some sponsors you'd like to thank, and we'll let you celebrate a fantastic second place.
Yeah, man. I just got to thank Speed Lab, all the sponsors we have out there, Bell, K1, South Bay Partners. A shout out to Brody and all his sponsors that put this on for us so we can, race for a little lunch money every week, and, hopefully continues and we see good things from it.
All right, man. Well, thanks for talking with us, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon on the track, bud.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
Second place finisher, James Edens. Quick look at tonight's results. Let me find them here. Here we go. All right, your winner tonight, Alex Bergeron. Second, James Edens. Third, Dylan Hauser. Fourth, Zach Novak. Fifth, to Rusty Kruger. Mason Hannigan was sixth. Vinny Sansone in seventh. Anthony Joe finished eighth. Cole Newhoffen in ninth. Michael Sheridan was 10th. Travis Oldfield finishes 11th. 12th to Rylan Gray. Joel Berkeley 13th. Alex Downinger comes home 14th. Colton Davis 15th. Craig Dunn in the 16th spot. Skylar Brown 17th. And Keith Jackson 18th. Good race. Couple of cautions early, but it settled out in a fantastic run to the end. As always, guys, we appreciate you tuning in, taking your time to spend it with us. For myself and Mike Peterson from the Dirt Racing Network, thank you, guys. Tune in tomorrow night. Wicked Energy Gum, a 410 Outlaw series from Lanier with the Dirt Slingers. Until then, everybody have a great night. Keep it dirty. Until next time.